think we're good to go. Or is that too low? Oh man, that is low. Okay, that's pretty loud. Alright. Alright guys, welcome to today's session. So what are we going to be doing? We are going to be looking at simplifying and solving algebraic fractions. To be honest, I didn't want to actually do this because I'm still recovering from whatever bug that I've got. Throat is completely shattered at the moment. Yeah, so it is what it is, and kind of get the job done. Good to see a lot of people coming off their derived grade question, exam, and just trying to see if there's any questions that came through. I know like somebody sent me a question earlier today, which we might cover on Thursday night. But apart from that, guys, so we are going to only do these 6 questions. Like I said, I'm a bit shattered at the moment. I'll finish these 6 questions, and then if you guys want to do a couple of extra ones, we could. Otherwise, we're gonna call it. Yeah. So the one question that I like to spend a lot of time on is these fractions, because they seem to keep bringing these questions up, these fractions questions, where you have to solve to find x, or sometimes they have inequalities in them. So what I've done is I put like pretty much all the range of fractions questions you can potentially get in terms of solving and simplifying. And if we get through this, then I think we should probably pretty much sorted with algebraic fractions. So okay, yeah, the MCAT is going to be on 2 days, guys. It's going to be on the 13th and 15th, as Oscar was saying there on the chat. So some of you guys will have it next week Tuesday, some of you guys will have it next week Thursday. The 2 papers are slightly different, so they call day 1 and day 2. It's just something to know. Alright, so let's actually get started with the first question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to kind of have a go by yourself. So I will go through this answer at about, let's make it 8:04 p.m. Should give you guys a couple of minutes to try and do question number 1, and then we'll go through the answer at 8:04. Yeah, I didn't go to school today. I had to go get a PCR test. Came back negative, but I'm still shattered at the moment. So guys, if you do get an answer, just feel free to throw it up in the chat. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong, it's still gonna be a learning experience there. If you're stuck on this question and you're like, I don't know where to start from, anytime you're working with fractions, the first thing you want to be doing is putting the denominators as the same. So keep the denominators as the same, and you should be well on your way. Love it. We already got 2 different answers. That's really good. That's good. That's good. It's alright, Samia. You can still leave your answer as a fraction. So remember guys, you can actually leave your answer as a fraction. Like, I mean, I know I've given you guys some horrible questions where you might not get the perfect number, but that's okay. You can actually leave your answer as a fraction. Alright, so I'll start going through this question first. So the way I kind of do this is I always tend to work with a little bit of gap when I do these kind of fractions questions. So what do I mean by that? So I've got x over 4 plus x over 20 equals to 5. Now the first thing I want to be doing is I want to have a look at the denominator. So the denominator here is 20, and somehow I need to make this denominator into 20. And you can kind of see the way I've highlighted this is, you know, I've highlighted in yellow. So in other words, I need to convert that 4 into a 20. And I know that the way I do it is by multiplying by 5. But when I multiply something in the denominator, I also have to multiply in the numerator. So by doing this, what I've essentially done here is I've actually got 5x over 20 plus x over 20 equals to 5. Now that because they are on the same denominator, I can actually add them up. So I've got 5x plus x over 20 is equal to 5. Then I've got 6x over 20 is equal to 5. Then 6x is equal to 5 multiplied by 20, which gives me 6x is equal to 100. And I can say that x is equal to 100 divided by 6. And you could write your answer as 50 over 3 if you want to, or you just leave it as 100 over 6. That's fine. Hi Sukhneet, welcome man. Jeez, that's a long way for you to go to school. So let me know guys if you have any questions with question number 1. And if we're good, we can go to the next question. Another one like question 1. Alright, we'll put up another one. We'll call it 1A and 1B. So try this for 1B. And it's basically just a mixture, man, because I mean, you know, like there's only one person here running tutorials. If I just run excellence tutorials, there are kids that you know, they're not ready yet, so I've got to kind of balance it out. So I got a couple of easy bites here and one excellence question towards the end. If you're aiming for excellence, then the best thing to do is watch I mean, not watch, but like do all excellence questions from your teachers that they give you with different papers. That's probably the best way. And if you really want to get a bit adventurous, have a look at some of the level 2 algebra, pure algebra questions, not the word questions, but the pure algebra questions in level 2. It might just help you a bit. Right, you guys seem like you're on the way there for 1B, so I might as well do 1B real quickly. So with 1B, we've got 20 as our common denominator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by 5 on this side, multiply by 4 and 4, which is going to give me 20 as the denominator. So what I've got here is 4x plus 15x and because everything is over 20, I can just put that in one line. I'm going to get 2, so I've got 19x equals 2 times 20. So, and here you can see that x is equal to 40 over 19. And again, I told you guys, I gave you ugly numbers, so we can just kind of leave that as it is for that question. Cool, so I think we're pretty comfortable with that, so we can actually go to question 2. I'll just see if I can zoom it out a little bit so we can kind of see what are all the questions that are coming up. I'll just write up question 2 here so that if people are still having a look at 1b, they can still have a look at 1b. So that was question 2, and I'm going to give you guys, let's say, maybe about 3 minutes to do that. So, oh, 2 minutes? Nah, let's go 3. Yeah, so Oscar, if you ever want to do that on a computer, where you put less than or equal to, you can just do this symbol here. So basically in notation, like in, I think it's called latex notation, if you put less than and equal to, it'll automatically change to less than with that line underneath it. Moonstone, no, it is meant to be just as is. So it's a simplified equation. So I should really write it as a single fraction. It's number 3 there. Nice, we got a couple of symbols kind of swapped around and letters swapped around. That's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. We're going to learn from it. Tell you what, I think maybe I'll go through that at 8:12. Samia, you can't leave your answer as negative x. You have to leave it as x by itself. Really important. Man, it's so hard not to try and talk as much when you're streaming. I'm trying to preserve my throat strength here. Remember, Samia, when you divide by a negative number with inequalities, you've got to change the direction of the symbol. That's your standard rule always. When you divide by a negative number, whichever side the greater than or less than sign is, you just point it the other way. Alright, looks like most of you guys are getting this. I might as well go through the answer. And remember guys, this usually is a merit question, this one. The first question we did was probably an achieved, so I would say these are all probably achieved. But this one here will it will be a merit. So I've got 6 and 4, and with 6 and 4 I've got 12 as my lowest common multiple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the first one by 2 and 2, and the second term I'm going to multiply it by 3 and 3. Now I know some of you might have actually done cross multiplication, so you might have actually done 4x minus 6x over 24. If you are going to do that, what ends up happening is it just becomes a little bit harder when you're dealing with x's. So that's why it's really important that we always look for the lowest common multiple. Once that's done, we can actually have 2x over 12, take away 3x over 12, less than or equal to 3. So we've actually got negative x over 12 is less than or equal to 3. So negative x is less than or equal to 3 times 12. and we've got negative x is less than or equal to 36. Now if you only go up to here, you haven't actually solved the answer for this question, and therefore you will not be getting the full grade of merit. So you have to, whenever they say solve, you've got to actually have x on its own and actually figure out what x is. So because I'm taking -1 out of here, and when I take it to the other side, I have to divide by -1. And this is the most kind of like, how do I say it? Like in MCAT every year when they have inequalities, it's almost a given that they always give this question where it's the sign's going to get flipped. It just kind of becomes very obvious, right? So you just need to keep remembering that when you're dividing by a negative number, that you actually have to flip the sign. All right, and once you do that, you are pretty much good to go. So that's fine, Tino. I think that's the beauty of algebra, is that you've actually got multiple ways of doing questions, and as long as you get to that final answer correctly and you are not guessing and checking, like if they can follow your steps that you did, then it's fine. But if you just go straight from, basically you go from here to here, they probably won't accept that because you might have guessed and checked and stuff like that. So yeah, unfortunately, Bambi, I wish I could answer that question. I have no idea what it looks like. I just do these tutorials for I don't know, just because I can help people. So I don't even teach senior maths. Anyway, do you guys want another question like 2, or are we happy to move on to question 3? Because the later questions that you guys will do, like 4, 5, 6, gets a little bit more trickier, and I think you guys might benefit from practice with those questions rather than these little ones here so far. Well, it depends, Skater, on the type of question as well, right? Like these questions here, it all depends on your working out, and if we can, as a market, can actually follow your working out, we can actually give you grades. But it depends on what the question is and the context is, Skater. So without that, I will pretty much be unable to comment what your method was, whether your method was a valid algebraic method, because some people like to use numerical methods, and if you use numerical methods, you're not going to get the full grade. A real good example is just trying to think, there was a fraction question with a bunch of lollies before, and a guy did it through numerical, and yeah, basically he did not get the full grade for that. Kavi, pretty much the same idea, but you generally won't be multiplying by a negative number, because if you think about it, your denominator is always a positive number, so you wouldn't have to multiply by a negative number. But yeah, if you do get a negative denominator and you multiply it, you have to flip the sign as well. Skater, if you want, look, just send me a picture of that question, and happy to kind of chat through it. So Rania, when we divide by a negative number, that's when we change the symbol. All right, really important. Cool, guys. I'm gonna go through question 3 here, because I saw one answer that kind of went, yep, this person did the cross multiplication, and I'm looking at you, A1261. You've got to cancel that x as a common factor because it's not fully simplified. So what do I mean by that? Okay, let's actually do number 3, right? So with number 3, what's happening is we've actually got 3 over x plus 4 over 3x. And when we have this, if you look at it, I've got x here, I've got x here in the both denominators. But what I don't have is in one of the denominators, I actually have a 3. That means I need to have a 3 in front of this x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply that x by 3. But because I'm multiplying the denominator, I've also got to multiply in the numerator. And when I do this, I actually get 9 over 3x plus 4 over 3x. Putting this together, we're going to get 13 over 3x. So 1 over 12, 3 over 12. Now guys, this particular question, oh, did I put 13 over 13x? Sorry, 13 over 3x. Yeah, got it. Jeez, you guys are mean, man. This one is not a solve question, so you have to be remembering this, right? A really good kind of indication is when you have an equal sign or less than equal, like the inequality sign, then 100% of the time you're actually solving it, right? But with question 3, what's happening is you are just writing it as a single fraction. So you're not actually solving for x here, but rather you're just writing it as a single fraction. So question 4, I'm going to do a little trick with you guys. Question 4, I'm only going to reveal this so far. I want you guys to try this. No worries, Dunstan, that was good fun yesterday. But I have to say, Mom, I was shattered yesterday, man. And anyway, question 4, I'm only going to give you guys this here. I want you guys to actually work it out. Write it as a single fraction. Yeah, so Bambi, I think if you did do that, I think that's what we're trying to avoid, because when you get to level 2, they start actually bringing in what do you call it, like quadratics and things like that. And when you cross multiply, what you'll end up with is like a cubic, and it can get real nasty real quickly. All right, so that's why while what you did is nothing wrong in it, but it's going to get harder for you when you get to level 2 and level 3. And also remember, Bambi, with your answer, you can actually cancel one of the x's, which will actually leave as final answer as 13 over 3x. All right, now that you guys did that, I'm going to actually show you guys the full question 4 here, which is this. So notice how when you get a question like this, you still write it as a single fraction first, because that will actually help you solve these types of questions. And that's why I got you guys to actually work out the left-hand side of the equation first. And most of you guys have got it there, which is 1 over 12x, which is great. So now it's just a matter of trying to figure out how you're going to manipulate it to kind of solve this. Damn, Optimal, that's pretty impressive if you had actually watched all of it, even the tutorials. Did you even watch the live tutorials as well? Man, that's pretty impressive. That is pretty epic, man. I'm not sure I understand your question there, Ryan. Yeah, I'm not sure what your question there is. So Bambi, if you look at this particular question, if you had done that cross multiplication, then your denominator is going to be having like a x squared, and things is going to get a little bit tricky there. But let's have a look at this question, all right? So the first thing is, as we were talking about it, we need to actually put the denominators to be the same. So I've got 3 over 4x minus 2 over 3x. The x is already in the denominator, so that's fine. And I've got 4 and 3. So I know that it's going to be 12. So I'm going to multiply by 3. And as for the right hand, the second fraction, I'm going to multiply it by 4. Because I wanted it to be 12 in the denominator. So putting it all together, I've got 9 over 12x minus 8 over 12x is greater than 1. So I've got 1 over 12x is greater than 1. So at this point, I just need to write x by itself. So I'm going to go x 1 over 12 is greater than 1 multiplied by x. So my answer for question number 4 is 1 over 12. But generally we tend to write x first. So if we write x first, we actually write it in this format because x is less than 1 over 12. Now if you had written it this way here, I think you'll be all right. You know, I don't think you'd be like anything's going to happen there. So I think you'd be okay with that. Is this an achieved question? I probably would borderline. When you're doing a fraction, look, I'll be honest. I think it could have been a merit question if I didn't put that 1, and maybe if I had put a negative in there, that might have made things a bit interesting. Yeah, so if I had it as like greater than -2, for example, like say for example, if I had the question like this, then I would say that would have been a merit. So you know what? Why don't I actually do that question? Let's try that question number 4 again, but let's do it as a merit question. All right. So I'll leave the working up there for you guys, but we're going to do 4B. Sorry, just trying to work it out. 6, 5 minus. Let's try that one there, just to make it a bit more interesting. No probs, Caleb. Just filling the spiritual cup, man. Bambi, for 4, you multiplied 3 by 3 in the numerator. Wouldn't the answer numerator be 9x instead of just 9? No, because Bambi, if you look at it, in the numerator, I'm actually doing 3 times 3, which is 9. Because the x is actually in the denominator, and I'm not touching the x at all. I'm only changing the 4 into a 12, right? So I've only got to do 4 times 3. So if I'm multiplying the numerator by 3, there's only 3 in the numerator. That's why it's 3 times 3 is going to be 9. I'm going to be honest. Moonstone, be careful with the symbol. Love it, love it. I love that we've got 2 different answers, because you guys will actually see where your mistakes are. I think that's a good thing about this kind of work, is like when you put your answer up, guys, or like if you look at other people's answers, you start to go, it's like, oh, which person is correct here? Because we've actually got 3 different answers already, 4 different answers. It's fascinating. Now, the first thing I said to you guys, you got to have x by itself. So, Blation, you can't really have 3x on its own. So you got to have x by itself. And like I told you guys, this one is a lot more challenging than any kind of question you guys would get in the MCAT, even though I'd classify it as a borderline merit excellence. But nothing changes, right? I mean, we still follow all the same rules that we've learned so far, which is make the denominators the same, combine it into a single fraction, and then take x by itself. Bambi, you gotta put the x there somewhere, because you're trying to solve for x. All right, let's go through question 4b now, since we've got a few answers coming up. I'll take my time with this, guys, so that you guys can actually pick up where you might have made a mistake, because some of you guys have written your answers in different format. So I'll try, and I mean, for me to go through all that format is difficult, but what I will do is I'll actually put the various answers you might have actually put down, okay? All right, so here we go. So the first thing is looking at the denominators. I already have an x here, so I don't need to worry about doing anything to the x's. All I need to worry about is the 5 and 2. 5 and 2, I know that the lowest common multiple is 10. So I'm going to multiply denominator by 5, numerator by 5, denominator by 2, numerator by 2. Okay, so once I do that, I'm going to get 25 over 10x minus 18 over 10x is greater than minus 3. So at this point, I'm going to combine the fractions. So I'm going to get 7 over 10x is greater than minus 3. All right, stay with me here, because remember, what I want to be doing is I want to have x by itself. So I'm going to leave the 7 over 10 here, and I'm going to move the x to the numerator to the other side. So it'll become negative 3 times x. All right, so far so good. The next thing is I want to have x by itself, which means in the next line, I might just write this line first. I want to get rid of the negative 3. The negative 3, it's going to go on the opposite side, but it's going to go on the denominator. So it's going to become 7 over 10 multiplied by negative 3. And because I am, well, the denominator is getting divided by negative 3, a negative number, the symbol has to switch. And this is what I end up with. So this could be written as 7 over negative 30 less than x. So let me just kind of point out some of the answers that you guys... I'm going to come back to that, Ryan. Give me a second, all right? So these are some of the answers you could have actually got. So this is number 1. Number 2 is x is greater than negative 7 over 30. You might have had x is greater than 7 over negative 30. And you might have actually had negative 7 over 30. So any one of that combinations. Now what I'm going to do is, give me a second, guys. I'm going to put some line numbers so that you can actually ask me at which line you have the questions. All right, let's have a look. Ryan, why is x not divided by negative 3? It is divided, like, I mean, it's just another way of doing it, right? Like, so say, for example, in here, I went 7 over 10. So if I divide both sides by negative 3, then that cancels out, and then the sign actually flips over because I am dividing by negative 3 there. So hopefully that made sense for you, Ryan, there. But I worked it out different ways. Samia, as long as you're working out is some sort of logical algebraic way, then you're fine. Line 4. Okay, so what's question? When you're at 7 over 10, when you divide x to the other side? No, because if I divide by x, then I'm going to get another x on the line So Bambi, I think you're talking about line 3 to line 4, right? So if you think about it like this, right? The other way of looking at it, if I want to get rid of this x, I would actually multiply both sides by x. And when I do this, the x disappears, and this x actually stays on the right hand side. Take away 18, thank you. Silvana, not till probably towards the end of, more towards term 4, because at the moment everybody's trying to work on MCAT. At line 6, why is it not positive 3? At line 6 it's not positive 3 because if it is, I mean, you could do that way as well. Look, you could have done it this way. From line 6 you could have actually went 7 over 10 times 3, which is negative x, because the negative's still going to be at the top there, right? So we're going to get 7 over 30, which is greater than negative x, and then you still got to get rid of this negative sign. So when you bring the negative sign here, the sign actually flips. So it's just kind of like, I'm just trying to do all of that in like one step. Shane Matthew, I'm actually doing 5 times 2x. It's not a 5x 2x. So John, which school is that? I'd be always keen to know. Why does 10x minus 3 have... Oh, it's not 10x minus 3. It's actually 10 times negative 3. Because I think maybe I should put it like this. Hold on. So that actually becomes 10 multiplied by negative 3. Because I'm actually moving the negative 3 from line 5 to the denominator in line 6. Look, Bambi, it's all right. Like, look, we'll do a few more questions with some numbers, and you know, like I said to you guys, this question is a lot more tougher than what you probably get in the MCAT. So it's just the concepts that you need to understand more than. I would say you'll probably have some problems with it, Shane, with cross multiplication. Oh yeah, so Jen, which one is that? I know the guys, they're not very far from where I teach. Alright guys, look, we're going to skip this one and then we'll come back. We'll actually go to question 5 and 6, which is a little bit more at your guys' levels. But so these are the last 2 questions we're going to be doing. So the first one is this. So write as a single fraction. Yep, Samia, you can do that as well. That's fine. That also works. So in fact, Bambi, you could have done that. You could have actually taken the whole 10x to the other side, and that'll make it negative 30x, and then bring the negative 30 back down. Tim Tam, glad to help, man. Glad to help. I mean, we hit 25k subs yesterday, which was quite exciting as we did it live. Love to get like to 30k next, because by the time I get 50k, you guys would have kids, I reckon. Then I would say writing in pen is means that if you do receive your paper back, you can ask for them to remark if you feel like you've been unfairly marked in a question. But if you write in a pencil, then you are not allowed to get it remarked again. No worries, Apolite or Abolite. Yeah, Oscar, you gotta have that denominator, man. Thanks, Tim Tam. Well, in all honesty, Bruce, if I can be brutally honest, I don't like when I was teaching when I was teaching high school maths, I wouldn't teach my class as well. I just put them on my videos because it was just so much easier. Because, geez, they would not listen to me. They'd rather listen to a video of me than actually listen to me. Yeah, nice, Oscar. Okay, guys, so we're gonna do question number 5, and we'll probably do one more similar question so you guys get the hang of it. So with question number 5, we want to write it as a single fraction. Okay, so the way we're going to do it is something like this. What we're going to do is a really quick little clue that might help you guys get through this is do this. Whenever you have a number, remember that a number can be written as divided by 1. So what do I mean by that? So if you have, say for example, you have the number 7, you can actually say this is 7 over 1. Or if I have the letter x, then I can actually say it is x over 1. So when I actually have x plus 3, I could actually say that this is just x plus 3 over 1. Now with that in mind, now we look at the denominators. We've got a 1 and we've got a 3. So we know that 3 is the lowest common multiple. So we're going to multiply the denominator by 3 and also the numerator by 3. But be careful with this, because when you do this, just remember that this is actually 3 times that bracket there at the top. Because of that, we're going to do 3 times x, which is equal to 3x, 3 times 3, which equals to 9, and we're going to get 3x plus 9 over 3 plus x minus 2 over 3. Putting it all together, we're going to get 3x plus 9 plus x minus 2, and all of it is over 3. Then we've actually got 4x plus 7 over 3. Let me know how you guys went with that, and if you're good with it, I'm actually going to give you guys, hang on, let me just get rid of these things here. I'm going to give you guys another question like that. Stefan, I think you're talking about your mocks, because there's no way you got your MCAT tomorrow. All of the MCAT happens next week or Tuesday. Worded question, TK plays. It's always hard to come up with word questions on the spot because I actually have to type it up, and at the moment I'm just struggling for time, man, to try and actually get questions. I mean, if you guys send me word questions, it's worth for me to have a go at. But other than that, it's really hard. Plus, all of these questions I actually make up on the spot. Word questions, I have to go online to find it, and then I get into copyright trouble. So yeah, that's why I kind of wait till people send me. I don't know which question you're doing, Daniel. I'm assuming it's... Jeez. Now we're doing 5B, right? First, before we go to number 6. Really? You got that for number 6? Interesting. Okay, I'm going to do 5B first, and then after that we'll do question 6. All right. Let's do 5B first. So, first step, I'm gonna put this over 1. Now, guys, with question 5B, you got to be careful. I did put this purposely so that you guys might make this mistake. So let's have a look at this, all right? So I've got 1 as 1 and 5 there, which means 5 is the lowest common multiple. So I'm going to multiply the denominator by 5 and the numerator by 5. When I do this, I am going to get 10x plus 5 divided by 5 minus x plus 2 over 5. Now here is where you should be careful with this question. All right, so what's going to happen here is we've got 10x plus 5. Really important that we actually understand that this minus sign is actually for x and positive 2. All right, so because of that, I'm going to put a little bracket around it, so it looks like this. And then what happens here is I've got 10x plus 5, and because that minus is actually affecting both x and 2, this will become minus x minus 2 over 5. So my final answer is actually 9x plus 3 over 5, which I don't think, oh no, sorry, I made a mistake. Shucks, that's 25 there. Jeez, that's a big mistake. 25, 25, 25, so we got 23. It's alright, got that mixed. It's alright, guys. I was like, something seems a bit off. So yeah, so that's what you should be getting, 9x plus 23 over 5. It's because of that minus right there. If you guys are good with that, we can go to our last question. Right, okay, just chatting away. So let's go to number 6, guys, and this will be our last question for the night. And it's the big one. All right, so if you guys can do this question, you are pretty much sorted for algebraic fractions. Why is it 2x plus 5 over 1? Maya, if you just joined us, see if you can catch up with the replay. It should be up in about 10 minutes after I finish. But basically, anytime you have a number, you can write it the number over 1. So that's why we had it as 2x plus 5 over 1. This is quite funny. Are you guys actually realizing that you're in the same class? Alian, that's going to be tomorrow. It's quite fun to watch this conversation between you two. Bambi, if you want to try, watch the previous live stream tutorials. They are like really good with the types of questions. Tino, as I mentioned before, people gotta send me the questions because otherwise I get into trouble. Only this month because of MCAT, so 8 p.m. every night. But I mix it up with level 2s and level 3s. Check the contacts way down there. Okay, I'm gonna go through question 6, guys, and then I'm actually gonna go get some sleep. I know I'm tired but anyway. So what we've got here is we've actually got 3 and 4 here. So because we've just gone from like, hi, you're in my class, to stalker level, which is just, it's funny. Anyway, so we've got 3 and 4, so we need to convert them into the same denominator. So what I'm going to do is I'm kind of going to write this up, right? X over 2, 3, x plus 2 over 3, minus 3x minus 1 over 4, less than 5. Right, so because 12 is the lowest common multiple, I'm going to multiply the denominator by 4 and the numerator by 4, and on this side I'm going to multiply the numerator by 3 and the denominator by 3. Okay, so by doing this, what I've got here is 4x plus 2 over 12 minus 3x minus 1 over 12 is less than 5. So I'm going to put all of that numerator in one big line, and I want to make sure I put that minus 3 there. So it becomes 3x minus 1. All of that is over 12, less than 5. Next, get rid of the 12, but I'm also going to start expanding these brackets here. So I've got 4 times x, which is 4x, 4 times 2, which is 8, minus 3 times 3x, which is minus 9x, minus 3 times negative 1, which is plus 3, less than 5. And of course, I'm going to bring the 12 over, which means it becomes 5 times 12. It's, yeah. I know what you mean by Muhammad. I'm just sitting here like just kind of like looking through the comments, but it's just quite funny, like okay, so next we've got 4x minus 9x, which is minus 5x, plus 11 is less than, we've got 12 times 5, which equals 60, minus 5x is less than 60, take away 11. We've got negative 5x is less than 49, and then x is 49, and because we are dividing by a negative number, we are going to flip the sign. So that's the only thing that I know I kind of flew through the comments there, but Fong Do, I think you've got to switch the sign around. 2 to 1 is 2/3. I don't know what you mean by Ansh. Mirmi07, I've got a degree in maths and stats at university, but doesn't mean jack, because I failed like so many times in that paper to get that degree. No worries, Shane. Now tomorrow I think I'm doing what are we doing tomorrow? Let me have a look. What are we doing tomorrow? I can't remember. Wrong place. Where do I even find my 9? Okay, let's see if this works. There we go. Tomorrow is level 2 Q&A, and then level 3 on Wednesday, and then we come back to Thursday. We're going to come back for level 1. All right. Final few what was I going to say? What was I going to say? Hang on. Need a new monitor. This has been old. Where are we up to? Yeah, Rania, I think this live should be up. Once I stop, it should be up in like 10 minutes. So you should be good. Thanks for the lesson. No worries. You're welcome. Have a good night, Covey. Octagon group. I don't know if it's anything to do with MMA or not. Emmy, I'm trying my best to get better. See you later, guys. Have a good night, eh? Cracked it, Mats. Yeah, thank you, Mohammed, for the 25k. That was good fun. Did you know my MCAT is... I'm trying to answer as many questions as possible, but no, I'm not Fiji Indian. I was born in Indian. Where's your love schedule? Oh my god. There's always one fella that comes and does this. Yes, we get it, Stefan. We get it. Oh, live schedule. Sorry. Well, you read it so many times as where is your love schedule? And I was like, what the hell is this? Live schedule is on Instagram, man. Me, you don't cross multiply them, because cross multiplying them, you're going to actually end up with a much uglier equation. All right, so it's always important that you kind of just stick with finding the lowest common factors. Ansh, I'm in Auckland, man. Somebody asked me, where do I teach? I can't remember who it was. Yes, Akali, I am. Sure, Ansh. Just there's a queue up there somewhere. For the upcoming tutorials, check Instagram, man. That's where I put it up. Maybe I should have put it up on YouTube community as well, but Ben, no, I teach year 8 and 9 maths. It's the highest maths I do, which is why I enjoy doing this in the nighttime. Like at the moment, my guys are just getting introduced to Pythagoras theorem and acute angle, like basic angles. Samia, we're back on Thursday. Wow, year 8 doing MCAT. Well, a couple of them are pretty tiny, Emmy. Like sometimes I get scared because like I'm pretty tall. And it's different working with year 7s as well, because year 7s sometimes they, you talk a little too hard and they start crying, and I'm like, why are they crying? Satvik, I'm gonna give you a very straightforward answer. It's pretty much how bad do you want it? I mean, basically just work on it, man. Danica, I don't know if it's I don't know which calculator you have, so it's kind of hard for me to look at. If it's a TI, then I wouldn't know. No, Shane, I can't do physics or stats tutorials. Alright guys, look, it is pretty late here. I'm gonna try and get some shut-eye so I can actually go to school tomorrow. I will catch you guys on Thursday next week. So I think what we'll do is we're gonna do a Thursday stream, and maybe on a Sunday we'll do a big stream, like I don't know, just answer as many questions as I can on Sunday night. Monday it's gonna be a bit more not really doing questions because I don't really want to do questions before the MCAT itself. People just panic. They come online and they just waste time. So I would actually say on Monday we're probably just gonna tell you guys where to go for questions. If I have the time, I'll put it together. Otherwise, we might not have one on Monday night. But like, I don't know. I just come in just to say good luck for you guys. Yeah. But otherwise, I'll see you guys on Thursday, and we'll do a big stream on Sunday. I think also stay tuned because we hit 25k yesterday. I did say I was going to do a t-shirt stream, but we'll probably do like a I think maybe we'll do it after the MCAT is over, so a bit more relaxed, so people are not like stressed out or anything. But maybe after the MCAT is finished, we will do a 15-minute stream on like, I don't know, get all you guys to jump on, and we can do a t-shirt giveaway, a couple of t-shirt giveaway, and a couple of other things as well. But till then, have a good night, and I will catch you guys on Thursday. See you guys.